Hey everybody, Seth here with Living Large and Tiny Living, and there's something that's never talked about in tiny houses, but really should be. So tiny houses are great because you got the freedom to travel the open road, discover new places, discover new things. But unfortunately, you can't do that if your tiny house is broken down, or you can't get lights on or water on because you're stuck on the side of the road. So we've got to discuss, how are we supposed to deal with those issues? And I think the easiest and most simple way to solve a lot of those problems is to have a 12-volt battery in your tiny house somewhere, run a wire to a breaker panel that has a 12-volt capacity in there, so it can handle 12-volt directly and can also charge your battery when you're plugged in. But have that all set up, and so you can run 12-volt wires to some lights and a water pump and any kind of other necessary systems that you can run off of 12 volts. That's probably the simplest, easiest, and one of the best ways that you can be prepared for something happening and needing to stop on the side of the road or anything like that. But there's other things that you need to consider about tiny houses and traveling, because you need to have a backup for pretty much anything that can go wrong if you want to get to your final destination. So you need the 12 volt for lights and water. You'll need a jack or something so that you can change your tire if a tire were to blow out. You need access to a spare. You actually need to have a spare. It needs to be aired up. And you should have insurance on your tiny house when you're traveling down the road, or just in general in case of a fire or flood or natural disaster. And just think through anything that you would need to access should you have to stop on the side of the road, and then have some way to power that or access that or get to it. Whatever you need, just think of ways that you can have some sort of a backup there. You wouldn't get into a boat that didn't have a backup paddle, or a ship that didn't have a lifeboat on it. So why in the world would you have probably the most expensive item you own not have a backup plan or insurance or security? Just save yourself the headache and think through these things before the worst happens, and then you'll be good when or if it does happen. So I hope that got you thinking on exactly what you need to do in case of an emergency. I hope you have a great week, and I'll catch you on the next video.